So there are two trigonometric identities that you must make sure you memorize and are able to use. We've already come across one of them. I've already told you what that is. And that is that tan x is sine x over cos x. This is an incredibly important identity that you must remember. Now the second one I'm going to show you comes from the unit circle. Now the unit circle, if you haven't met it before, is a circle centered at the origin of unitary length, which means it has a radius of 1. So this length, 1, 1, I'd put that as -1 and -1, okay? Now if I choose a point on the curve, okay, then drawing a line from the center, from the origin to that point, gives me a radius, and that is of length 1, okay? Now, if I draw a drop a perpendicular, and that creates a right angle there, okay? Let's say that this angle is x. Then what I have is a right angled triangle which allows me to use basic trigonometry like SOHCAHTOA, okay? And from that I can say, well, sine of the angle is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse, so opposite over hypotenuse, okay? And the opposite in this case is that side there. So I don't know what that length is, but I do know that the length of the hypotenuse is just 1. And anything divided by 1 is just itself. So the opposite side of the triangle, this side, is of length sine x. Okay, so that length, that height of the triangle is sine x. So in other words, what I'm saying is that if this angle was 20 degrees, then if you typed sine of 20 into your calculator, that would give you the height of this triangle. Now, in a similar way, cos of x is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. Now, if the hypotenuse is just given by 1, then actually the adjacent side of the triangle is given by cosine of the angle, cosine of x. And so this distance, this adjacent, is cos of x. And so we now have a triangle with a base of cosine of x and a height of sine of x. And then, if we saw this right angle triangle, we would say, well, Pythagoras should work on this right angle triangle. And so, squaring that side plus the square of that side must be equal to the hypotenuse squared. Or in other words, sine squared x plus cos squared x is 1. And this is the trig identity that we must learn alongside this one up here. Okay? We must learn this one. And it all comes from using Pythagoras.